Pose.
What's up, you guys, and welcome to Sith Happens, Star Wars podcast. I'm Eric the Dadalorian, and thank you guys for joining us for episode 40. Hard to believe we made it here, guys, huh?
I know, right? Against all odds.
Against all odds, it's been a wild ride, but here we are.
You never tell us the odds.
Nah. But yeah, man, episode 40, and it's been almost a year of us doing this now, and we are here today doing another episode review. We had episode 4 of Skeleton Crew pop in, and we are going to get into that. But before we do, for everybody watching and listening to this is your spoiler warning. So, boys, this one I enjoyed a lot. And Ant and I were talking the other day, so we're filming this on a Thursday for everybody watching and listening. I had to take a couple of days for us to get all of us to get time to get together and do this, but it was just another hit after hit that I loved it. You know, it didn't have the same luster that the first 3 did, in my opinion, but I still loved it, and it was a great episode.
Yeah, I agree. The episode was a little bit of a different feel to it. The first 3 had a little bit more of an upbeat vibe to them, I would say, and this one kind of was, I don't even want to say dark, because I don't think it was dark, but
I think
it went
depending
down,
on the way you look at it.
It might have gone
was
down
literally
a little bit
dark
of a darker road. So
from a filter standpoint.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So no, the vibe changed.
Yeah,
a
they
little
took
bit,
the Game of Thrones, the long night route with this one.
Sorry, Ant, you were saying?
Sorry, Ant.
That's good.
We love you.
Oh god. No, I think it fit really well with the storytelling that they're doing, and that I agree with you 100%, Eric. I loved it. So can't wait to dive in.
I think for me, I liked it a lot. Upon rewatch, I liked it more. It's like you guys said, there was a lot of this joy de vivre, like sense of wonder in the earlier episodes, and this took you down a little bit, which is fine. I also think this was the first side mission episode, and what I really liken it to that I had to recalibrate myself for was, if you remember Mandalorian season 1, first 3 episodes are basically a movie, and that's kind of what the first 3 episodes of this felt like. And you got into that 4th episode, the Bryce Dallas Howard episode, and it was like, okay, now we're into the show. Now it's a side mission. Now they got to save these folks on a mud planet that they make spotchka, or whatever. And it's like that's so like fighting ATSD, which was awesome. Which I called it @ST as a child. I know that's a big debate. @ versus AT, right? But I think that if I recalibrate my feelings on it, and I was talking to you guys the other night, I was like, I don't know how I felt. Now I'm like, okay, we're into the show. I mean, they're probably going to go to multiple of these Lost Worlds, in my opinion, as part of the show going forward.
Like.
So, and I love that. And that was what I wanted before we went in. Remember, we were all talking about it like a month and a half ago. I said different world per episode. Yes, different world per episode.
Republic, you're jumping, your mission over here, your mission over here.
Yeah, and like the way they left it, it definitely seemed like it left it at like a very open point to where they could go a lot of ways with it. And I do think that's what they're going to do with it next. So like, I think, Ant and I were talking about it the other day, briefly, and when it opened, right, when it went into that, those big satellites around the world, that's the barrier they're talking about. Yeah. All of these planets had that barrier.
Yep.
So like, something happened with these other worlds, that didn't happen at Attin, that where they were all destroyed, taken over. Something happened essentially on these planets. Well, I got a theory on it. We'll get into it.
I will say this before we get too far on what you guys said about the end of the episode, because this is the biggest factor in my rating this week. I hated how they ended this episode, and I rarely hate something in Star Wars. It was far too abrupt. It was too abrupt. Even if they had given it like he fainted, and then everybody like looked up and did a what now. As cheesy as that is, and like 80s like freeze frame as that might be, to me, I needed that last little button or something. Like it felt to me almost like they didn't finish the scene. That said, I liked the episode. Just that really, like I found it left me wanting more in a way different than the first couple of episodes, where I was a little like, just give me more to the scene. Say that, but on the back of him, we found the things to @Fatten, across the galaxy or something. Sure. But you know what I mean? Like at Ratton. That's the Rat planet.
I can see that
Rappin', the hip hop planet.
I can see and respect that, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a different
No,
episode.
I do remember, like, well, I was just a little like, wait, what? That was kind of my reaction. Like, I wasn't mad, like, it wasn't
Yeah.
bad. It was just like you said, it just kind of left you wanting a little bit more, but just not in the quite the same emotional standpoint as the first three.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
and,
fully
like,
agree with that too.
I'm not mad. It'll affect my rating, is what I'm
mean, I
really
can-
saying.
I can
when it
tell
comes
you're
down
pissed.
to that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little pissed about something else.
at
We'll
him.
get into that in Collector's Corner. I'm all
throwing things-
fired up.
Oh God, what?
Well, fair enough.
But yeah, no,
But yeah, honestly, so like I will say this about this episode. The way it opened up with the satellites and everything, I was a big fan of that because it gave huge Old Republic vibes, which is exactly where they were going with this, I think. And, you know,
Yeah.
the last two shows are really playing with that, the high and Old Republic a lot more, you know, with this and Acolyte. And I really like how it, you know, you could tell something was off right from the beginning because the satellites were all rusted and shot to hell. And then they get down to this planet, and Ant and I were talking about this the other night. It essentially like was a cookie cutter copy of Attin, just destroyed to all hell. So it leads to the question, like, all of these planets essentially could just be little copies of each other. Like, there were all these treasure planets, so to say. Disney, don't sue me for that. And essentially, like, you know, something happened to all these other worlds, and like, you know, and still somehow still standing essentially. So
Yeah.
well, I wonder if there are all these treasure planets that were like a test, and Attin is the only one that didn't destroy itself with greed.
well, so
Like that's failed. It's a failed experiment, you know.
Yeah,
it's
correct.
a possibility. I know
Because
my
we
theory
saw
on it.
like a war and poverty type situation in
Yeah.
this world, and you know, who knows? I mean, hopefully, like if they go that direction. But
Yeah.
what's your take, Eric?
So I got a theory on this, and I've been thinking about this for the last few days now. So we're jumping ahead in the show a little bit here, but at the end there, we see the supervisor's tower. They called it the Fallen Sanctum, had all of the treasure planets there, and was swiped off, and you realize that it was done by SM-33. Now, my theory on this is SM-33 looks like a very, very old droid. My theory is that they like whoever it was that was essentially 33's crew, they somehow get the coordinates and they crash landed at Attin, obviously. And my theory is that this started off as a possible like pirate colony, and it transformed into a utopia later on because the ship is old as hell. We've talked about that from the first episode. So like it's just
Like that the crew started the colony.
like maybe not that crew, but like pirates in general, like formed this type of colony on there, and essentially like became what it is now. Like I don't know how much weight that holds, but I think it may possibly
it's a-
come in later on.
I think it would be interesting if it not necessarily like a pirate planet, because he talked about them sneaking in, like, you know, when like SM-33 was starting to jog his memory with Jod. Where, you know, we got here, we snuck in, we snuck
was
past.
cool.
Very cool. Oh, that you know what? Just shoot me was like probably the best, like, one of the best parts of a lot of really good parts.
Oh
of the
my
episode. I
god,
don't
the
wanna
amount of
sound down
times
on
I
the
say
episode.
that in a day.
Yeah, you know, but I think that like it would be interesting though if they kind of turned in on themselves and the pirates used chaos, and as you go to the other planets even, or maybe this planet always was kind of chaos. Like maybe
Yeah.
these are all
Yeah,
different
true.
social experiments
Ooh.
that were being done by the
Now that's a
the older
fun
public. Like,
idea.
yeah, like so, like you go to another planet and it's way less high tech. You know, you go to another planet and it's like each of these are like really social experiments. So
Yeah.
like sort of like if you ever watched Fallout, like the vaults each had their own experiment.
Yeah, that's true.
They were doing. What if each of these planets kind of had a goal? Like maybe this planet was weapons production and it like totally folded in on itself, and that's why they have all those advanced tanks and stuff that you don't see on Attin, where they have the security droids. Or, you know, maybe it is like another, they were all the planets, this was the treasury, you know, for everybody, and this one folded in on itself, and in another one, you know, there was a
Yeah.
cataclysm. I will say, though, what's funny is when they got to this planet and you thought something was amiss, do you know what my first thought was? That I thought would have been kind of cool, but probably ruined the ending of the show, if time worked differently on Attin.
Yeah.
So, like, they got there, and it was like 400 years later.
Yes.
You know what
I
I mean?
kind
Or
of thought
something
that
like
because of the barrier, actually. This like the same thing. I thought maybe the barrier is like some type of time stop, like on Mortis or something like that.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting perspective.
And
I don't.
and you know what I just thought of too, Matt, because of the way you were just talking about, right? Like, what if each of these planets like kind of like did their own thing? Like this was the weapons planet and stuff, dude. That's like the premises of the what do you call it? The districts in the
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Like, what if it's something along that lines
I was
type of
just
thing?
Like
gonna
bringing
compare
Hunger
it
Games
to
into
that,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
That's
an
a good
interesting
point.
and it's an interesting way to look at it. And honestly, it kind of starts to make sense a little bit if you kind of start looking at it like that, because
Like,
you got Attin was like the finance district of it, Akron, you know, the military wing of it or something like that. So I mean, this is all just speculation, but I mean, it's making sense.
One of the cool things that I saw that I picked up on, if you go back and look at the soldiers, I forget which faction, they're wearing the same helmet that the Mudscuffers
I
and
saw
the
that
riot
too.
cops did in
Yes.
the era of like Solo and Andor. So I thought that was it might just be a thing where they thought we wouldn't notice the prop. But
Right.
I
I
was
thought
also
about that
kind of like
too
they've got
as we were watching.
Imperial infantry and riot gear on
It
somebody
was
like helmet
exactly
wise.
the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. No, so thought that was interesting too. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like that is I don't know
I
if
mean, look,
I don't know if that was intentional,
They
but
did say
maybe
how they did have trade with outside worlds because they were talking about trading hides for weapons and stuff. So, like, their weapons were super, super crude. So, like, I don't think they've had tons of outside contact, but I think it's a possibility they've had some contact.
Scavengers.
Yeah, like some
I mean, if they're
pirate
barriers
scavenger
down.
type of thing trading with them.
but my question is when was the last time they traded? Right? Because they're all fighting over Eopes. So you know what I'm saying? Like that's not, so is it outside worlds? Is it like every, once every 80 years somebody comes through and they like stock up? Because they don't have
Yeah,
much
who knows?
to trade from a rudimentary weapon standpoint. So
Yeah.
I think the thing that was so cool about this that you get from Attin is how isolated these planets are and how they kind of live in their
Extremely.
own world.
Yeah, and I mean, it leaves the question like, where is like, because we haven't seen these on the map of the galaxy. Like, is this in the unknown regions? Essentially, is what it begs the question. And honestly, it kind of gives the vibe like it might be, or
feel
like
like
at least
it's
on the edge
far-
of the unknowns.
Yeah, I think far outer rim is what I get out of it, like closer to like the wild space, essentially. Would be,
Yeah.
like my thinking, because especially when you think about we haven't seen a lot of these pirates, and they're kind of jumping in and out, and it doesn't feel like the New Republic knows about Port Borgo. Like this is all pretty isolated from what we know and out there. So like that's like another element of it too, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I think the New Republic might know about Port Borgo, but the thing is the New Republic is so freaking scattered and stretched thin they wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to do a damn thing about it, even if they wanted to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you read the new arc of the comics they're doing four-part series that take place like the road to the Battle of Jakku, and it like focuses more on like the main cast. It's funny because we're finally in an era in the comics where Han Solo is there, and they immediately send him to Kashyyyk, and he's not in the comics because that book exists. But it really comes down to how stretched thin the Republic was,
Yeah.
and truly they were still fighting the Empire on multiple fronts. It really focuses on one Grand Moff, who's like kind of got a foothold in a sector of the galaxy where he hasn't even told the planets or his troops that they lost the war because they're winning
Yeah.
Yeah, why
against
would
the
you?
rebellion so much. Yeah,
I mean, if
And he
you
doesn't
if you
wanna-
look into all the stuff, like the books, Battlefront 2, like
Battlefront
they
2, I was
they
just gonna say.
never look at it like they lost the war. They never
No,
look at it that
no,
way.
I mean, it would make sense. They still have. It's sort of like I don't know if you watch the Robot Chicken thing, where it's like the two officers on the bridge, and he's like, "Hey, man, we lost at Endor. Emperor's dead. War's over. We're done." Right? But there's like a million of us. No, man, Emperor's dead. War's done. It's like, all right, you want to get a coffee? Sure. And like they walk away, but it's
Yeah.
like. That's kind of, like I love that idea of it. And I know comics like Dark Empire, Legends, kind of showcase that they didn't really win, that there was still this like war front going on and the Empire was actually stronger. I mean, the Emperor came back as a clone.
Yeah.
Everybody that hates that in the movies now.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
When I
spoiler
read
alert,
that in the book
comics.
when I was like 12 years old, I thought it was the coolest thing.
Same thing. Everybody loved it then. Now
thought it was
somehow
so
he
cool.
came back. We won't get into it. But yeah.
Yeah, I was
like-
gonna say we can make a whole episode out of that alone.
Yeah, let's get happy. How about Neil?
Neil
about
was
Neil?
the star of the show. He
Dude,
was.
He always
That's-
has been, always will be.
He was.
The
I
purest
agree.
soul Star Wars has ever seen, honestly.
But like a great, you could see him bringing peace to people, like he did to that girl.
Yeah.
Like there's this
Yeah.
element of the character that it's a pure soul, but like it's like being naive in a way that like makes other people feel open and naive. Like it's this like
Yes.
openness, like an open wound facing the world. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's just like, and it just was so cool, and it was such a good little like show of. He got his own episode really, which was fantastic.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's-
the perfect way to describe it too,
it
Matt.
really
Like,
shows-
if you've ever met a person like that in your life, like you know exactly what Matt's saying. Like that type of person is just
Yeah.
like, wow, and you see it with every interaction that he has. So if for whatever reason you didn't like Neil, you might be a psychopath.
Yeah.
So-
And I mean, honestly, it shows a kind of tenderness in the world that it sorely needs, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, Fern had a great vulnerable moment in it too. There was a lot
Yeah.
of good
Yes.
for being what I'm calling a side episode. The more I talk about with you guys, there's a lot of good character stuff in this episode.
There
And
is.
her
There
and
was
Wim
really good character
sort of
development.
forming a bond, and how Wim looks at her like a big sister, and her not wanting the responsibility and feeling the pressure that she put on herself. You know, in the end.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of good, and the kids
She's
are such good
realizing.
actors. Yeah.
Oh,
you
they
know,
killed
it's-
it. They've absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
Even more in addition to that, I should say, is you know, Jod, like you're getting to know a little bit more about him based off of his way he's interacting with them too.
Yeah.
Like you could tell like he's not a bad guy.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
I was going to
he's-
say the
he's
same
great.
thing.
He's a survivor, is what you lost, bro.
Yeah,
Survived?
exactly.
Described
Like so he
him
says that he's a survivor. So yeah, sure, he might do some shady stuff once in a while, and he might be a pirate and what have you. But like I think at the end of the day, he's gonna end up being kind of like if he truly is this Crimson Jack, like he's giving you like Jack Sparrow vibes. Like
Yeah.
He's a
you know,
little bit of
a
like
little less of a
almost like a
buffoon,
Deadpool of Star Wars, so to say.
Yeah, I give him like it's sort of like
Mm-hmm.
a mix of like a Han Solo and like a Jack Sparrow or like a Blackbeard from like the original, you know, Treasure Island, not Treasure
Yes.
Planet. Like
Yep.
there's a charisma, but then like there's this element of like how bad is he? Like is this circumstance? It's just the life he tried to escape and become. So I
Yeah.
think that's a really nice touch we're getting because we always felt like. You know, is like, you know, is it just going to be like he's all good and these kids warm his heart? But it's still kind of to get out of things, and he knows he needs the kids to make Smee do things for him. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like you still could see a world where he'd screw everybody over, but at the same
Right.
time, there's those glimpses of a good guy, and again, a little character development. Like you thought he was going to steal the credits, he used them to survive. Like he knows the
Yep.
greater mission is the treasure, but he's
Yeah.
a survivor. He figures out how to get through and out of it. So I
yeah,
think that's
almost
a
almost
valid
throws
character
some
development.
young Lando vibes out there too.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
give
that's
you that,
actually a
100%.
great
call.
comparison.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah, honestly,
Thank
but
you.
honestly, the episode itself was just it gave interesting vibes because, like, you know, with especially with going into the whole like what was going to be this battle scene and everything like that. At first, like when the girl's dad came in, he kind of like at first I was like, oh, okay, you know, this dude's. You know, he's just
No,
trying to,
not
you know, be
Joe.
the tough dad type thing, and then he turns into a total d-bag, and I was like, oh
come
man,
on.
I was kind of
It's a
rooting for
survivor
this
planet,
guy.
man.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
a
no
survivor
doubt.
planet. When they talk about like running away, it was really funny. You know, like that they all heard them. Like
We can
there's
hear
a lot
you.
of yeah, and that was good because they do the shit like that in Star Wars and everything all the time, where you know they act like it's an aside. And I think that it's I think yeah, it's there's a lot of nice like that's a very natural thing that you know you would just assume nobody heard them, but them adding that joke in. The thing I was surprised about is this was the one done by the Daniels that did
Yeah.
the Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I felt like it didn't quite have the uniqueness of that, but I also appreciate that it stayed true to kind of the world that it created, and it was just a good episode. You know, again, I think that, like we said, there was a glimmer on those earlier episodes that made them a little bit more whimsical, and this one was a
Yeah.
little more grounded, and it's a little bit more
Yeah.
showing you're going to get different things on the planets, which I like.
Yeah,
Well,
the
like you
storytelling
said-
is great.
Like you said too, the first three are basically a movie, and it goes along with the same vibe that Mando had in the first season there, where the first three were essentially all one big episode that was essentially a movie, and now we're getting that
Yeah.
side mission piece. So like I think we're gonna feel that side mission piece for the next 1 to 2 episodes, and the final 2 are gonna be that big draw in type of thing.
They might
100%.
throw us off though. I'm kind of sensing a flashback.
Yeah, well, I think we got to find out who Jod is. I think there's at least going to be a flashback through storytelling. And remember, the only Star Wars show that was one linear story without like side missions was Ahsoka. Like everything
Yeah.
else has side missions. So I think that that's also something to remember is that like
I don't even know if you can really call it without
Obi-Wan doesn't
side
have side
missions.
missions either. Yeah, but Obi-Wan doesn't, like, not side missions, but asides, like little episode interludes. Obi-Wan and Ahsoka are the only ones that didn't do that because they were very driven. This is the plot. This is the motivation. It's singular character. Like, but yeah, I think I have to remind myself of that here too. You know, but at the same time, like I said, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I think, I honestly, I think we can hit it with our ratings and everything right now. I personally, I thought it was another great episode. The episode just slapped one after another. Honestly, this one didn't go as hard for me as the other ones did. It was a little bit less on the luster, but I still enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it for me, it's an 8, solid 8.
Ant, you're up.
Why?
Oh, I'll go. You want me to go that badly?
Yeah,
You
go.
want? Okay,
I want
Ant,
will.
you go.
No, I'll go. It's 8.5. You know, it still was really good for me. That ending really kind of like hit me down. And I will say, with distance from it, talking about it with you guys, and like Jen and I have talked about it a little bit. My wife, for those that haven't heard me say her name a billion times on the podcast, also my audio-visual person, general life mate, emotional support, mental stability, wonderful lady.
Hi, Jen.
Got to do a holiday shout out to Jen. Aunt is waving at the camera. She's across the room. She waved back. So did Eric. But we talked about it a little bit. The more I have distance from it, and like it helps me set my expectations for the next couple of episodes. 8.5 feels right to me. It really does. It's really good. I didn't love the abrupt ending, but overall, like this is a show I'll rewatch. I won't skip this episode.
Yeah, no, good enough.
100%. And no lie, I'm 8.5 as well. True, solid episode. Nothing I didn't enjoy. Just I really honestly. Like you guys said, it was a little bit different vibe to the episode, but I mean, straight from the very beginning, I honestly, and I'm talking the first 2-3 seconds, probably, like they show the planet and then they go back to the team, and in those first like 3 seconds, immediately, like my wheels are turning, and I'm thinking like, well, they're already here. Where are we going? You know, my mind's going a million miles. And when I'm watching a show, like I tend to like things pretty easily. You guys know this. But this is why I like them, because it makes me think. Like Acolyte made me think so. It gave me so many stories that I could now tell. You know, as a photographer, as an artist, in that sense. Like it just really makes my wheels turn, and I can already tell this one's doing the same thing. So, 8.5 for me is really well, just a little bit under what I felt, a little bit more excitement, like you guys said. But
Yeah,
love the episode.
no, and I mean, I think that's right on par with where we've been. You guys 8.5, me an 8. I think I've just undershot you guys a couple of times on these, and that's because I'm saving my 10 for one of those. I feel like we're just gonna get one that's gonna blow my mind, and I'm saving it for that.
Just
when
admit
Chimera
you're a
comes
sour
in.
jerk.
No, I'm not. I'm not one of those. Okay, this isn't Star Wars theory. Okay.
We should do our Halloween episode next year as Star Wars theory. Just put that in the tank.
I'm not shaving my head.
Okay. Well, I don't. I have
Nor
to.
am I.
I'll be him, so you guys can be my cronies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep ranting about women in Star Wars.
Be your cronies.
Yeah. They're turning Star Wars gay. Anyway, so cool.
Anyways, moving on now, guys. So we had our final week of Gift the Galaxy from Hasbro Pulse.
Galaxy.
And this one, I was really hoping, Matt, you and I were both, like, I think on
Next
our knees.
week's our week, bro. Next week's our week.
Well, no, this was the last week for it. There's no more
No.
Gift the Galaxy. So
Next year's our year, bro.
yeah.
Next year's our year.
you and I are
reason
going to
be
need to
mad at
wait
Hasbro
for
Pulse.
our
Stuff, we got the
Dash
good
Rendar
stuff.
to come out. But that's going to be one you and I go absolutely bonkers for. But
Yeah.
this week was still pretty good. I enjoyed these. One of them had been leaked previously, which is the first one I'm going to talk about. And I'll throw these up on the screen so you guys can see it.
Twofer.
Yep, this is the 2-pack of these Attack of the Clones, Super Battle Droid, and Phase 1 Clone Trooper. It's the Clone Trooper with the basic white armor, so it's not too crazy, and it's the same type of Battle Droid that you got from the regular Attack of the Clones pack. It has the blaster effect on its forearm. So, honestly, these aren't anything too crazy, but for folks like you guys who do these like for photographs and stuff like that, these are great army builders, and definitely good like fodder to have to like make some extra stuff out of it.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
they've re-released a Phase 1 clone since it came out a couple years ago either.
No,
Like in the new
that's a
Clone
figure
Wars.
I don't have.
Yeah,
So
that was.
I love this. I won't buy it because I have them. I love this 2-pack.
Well, they
I
have
think
that
it's
other
for
Phase
it's-
1 clone trooper that came out that was newer than the original Attack of the Clones one.
that's what I'm talking about. They haven't
Okay.
released since that one, but I'm saying like there's not a hostage pack. It's great. Like if you
Yeah.
buy it, like I even consider the Rebel Fleet guy and the Stormtrooper, the New Hope one, a
Yeah.
hostage pack because the Rebel Fleet guy has gray hair and he doesn't like you can't get multiple of him. Don't make sense really. So
Yeah.
like to me, unless you're a head swapper or a customizer, like that's still kind of a hostage pack. This is for me like I'm happy for the people that want to have a bunch of these because they won't
Yeah.
have a bunch of one random figure.
Right.
Yeah.
What I don't like about these 2-packs they've done recently like this is that they have the packaging. I feel like they should be less. Like it's almost like they're charging. Are they $44.99 or 40?
I think it was
Yeah.
$44.99.
Okay, so, but like if the packaging is like, it's so. Bleh.
And that's
like,
why
for you,
I
an
am not
inbox
getting
collector,
these.
Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't buy that. Like if they put that on the shelf for maybe 35 like that, I'd say yeah, sure. I'd buy it.
That's the reason I'm not getting them. Like you guys know, I'm an inbox guy, and these ones, the way the box look, it's not an attractive display. Essentially, it's
Yeah.
great if you're an opener because you just take that and throw the damn thing out. But for someone like me who really, and this is for a hot minute there when we went to the windowless packaging, I was really considering getting out of Black Series. Thank God they went back to the windows.
I think they knew
because-
that.
Yeah,
Not just
'cause
you, a lot of people.
No, I think a lot of
Matt
people
and
had
I
that.
wrote them. Matt and I wrote them numerous letters expressing that you did not.
Yeah, on your
appreciate
But
behalf.
I appreciate you guys looking out for me.
That's what we
We're,
do.
we're
That's
letter
what friends
writers.
are
It's
for.
called customer service, and we 2 hours
Yeah.
a day, both of us. One of us.
You know
do
how
the other
much
one's
money I
job
spent
and
staying
ours.
with you?
Well, I appreciate that, Ant.
He was living on ketchup sandwiches. Like,
Hey, listen,
Sometimes a slice of cheese.
it's not DiGiorno, it's DiStruggle.
It's the most wonderful time
Yeah.
of the year.
But anyways, the second pack we had come out, and this is one I'm actually super excited about. Flash this up on the screen as well. Is the it's called The Journey of Anakin Skywalker is the
it's a
name
great
of it.
pack.
Yes, and it has the Clone Wars armor Anakin, the Nightfall Anakin, essentially Sith Anakin with the red saber, and then it has Darth Vader with the electrical shock from the final battle with Emperor Palpatine. And these
That's-
are going to be in TVC, so 3.75
Yes.
inch.
Like, come on.
And
Those are
the
altered.
packaging. Yeah, and the packaging is the retro packaging too, which I thought was really cool. So it's not retro TVC.
That's
the
cool.
packaging is just the same type that it was in like the 80s or something like that.
Yeah.
And it
That's
looks
so cool.
awesome.
Looks sick.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like that's a good set. We're gonna get
Really
an
good.
Ahsoka Anakin anyway. Like I
Yeah.
wonder, I think it's an update. It should be an updated body mold from the Walmart exclusive. So I'm pumped for that. But I'm hoping this inspires them to give me a new Hope Anakin. Revenge of the Sith Anakin in Black Series.
Yeah, I don't
forgot
have that
which
figure
We're
one.
gonna get it. I
You
think
don't
we're
want it.
getting
It is horrible.
Is
But
it,
I
is
think
it
we are
as
gonna
bad
get it.
as Padawan?
Talking about the
Anakin?
archive one.
Yeah, the archive, the Black Series, even the archive update of it was for the Revenge of the Sith. But I
Yeah.
think it's this next year's the anniversary, right? For Revenge of the Sith, 2025?
Yeah, 20
Yeah,
years,
it's 20
dude.
years. So we're gonna get some good
This
stuff.
is this
Okay,
is
how
gonna be
did
a
I go
big
see
one.
Phantom Menace for anniversary this year, and then next year is Revenge of the Sith?
It was the 25th anniversary.
25th
of
for
Menace.
Phantom.
And this is the 20th for. So the way that years work
Oh.
is that you get an anniversary every year. It's called a birthday.
Yeah.
I sent
Well,
you a present
even
for yours
I
last year.
just was like, "Where's Attack of the Clones in there?" You know,
That will
why would that not
probably-
come next year?
So
My
that'll
least favorite
probably
Star
hit
Wars
its.
movies.
Because
And
it
I
goes,
enjoy
it's just in a different month. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That
Get
one will
confused.
probably hit its 25 in like another 2 years or so, maybe.
It's milestones, right? Like they usually do 20th, 25th.
Yeah, it's in fives typically.
Yeah,
So like
fives. Eric's
yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
another
yeah,
figure I don't have. Every figure we've talked about tonight,
Conspiracy
I have-
theory going on
I
now.
have a fives.
I'm sure you do.
Nice.
But,
I mean,
but yeah, anyways,
all
for
this-
these
all this
though,
talk of figures.
yes. For these though, that was what we got for our final week of Gift the Galaxy. I personally liked it. I loved how they did this at reveals every Tuesday. we will be putting more reveals up on our page, much as we have been. I'm in the loop now with Hasbro, getting the notifications, so be on the lookout for more of those coming up from the Sith Happens Instagram page. And yeah, guys, finally getting into a fun part now, Collector's Corner.
Oh man,
And
Fun. Ooh.
so I'll save mine for last because I don't even know what mine is, and we'll tell you why.
I don't know what mine is either because I'm gonna unbox Ant's present that he sent me.
Ooh, okay. All right. So
Oh.
here's the thing. We actually had all sent Christmas presents to each other. Anthony, you if we haven't told you yet, you cannot open mine yet until you
did
get
not.
Matt's because it
Yeah.
kind of goes together.
Yeah, they go together.
Matt, I think you're getting yours tomorrow, so it's not here for the
Nice.
cast. But you
I
do
in
have
fact
Anthony's.
gave it to my wife, and I said, Eric said I cannot open this until Christmas, so you have to hide it.
You
So she
can't
took
open it until you get Matt's into, particularly because ours go together. So
Yeah.
But we'll wait.
all
It's
right.
a top and a panty set that we want you to wear for us, so they look better together. But yeah, we're making Star Wars gay. No, but so anyway, what I say was, it's funny. I was going to save mine for Christmas, but I'm a little frustrated. I'm over it.
Yes.
This talk of Star Wars made me feel better. As you all know, I'm a pre-order person. It keeps me sane. I got charged for my Yoda Gree 2-pack by Hasbro Pulse the other day. I got told it was going to ship, and they canceled it. So I will be using a lot of stamps about that tomorrow. But I'm in a good mood. We had a great time on the cast. I've calmed down. My wife was going to seem really annoyed for the episode. I was, but it's just a toy. And with that said, I had
Here's
Ant's
another
present to
one.
unbox. So
And
I clipped
I don't
the
know what
top,
it is, so
but
I'm
I
curious.
didn't pull out the toy. Just so
Okay.
that I
Let's
see
see.
scissors on screen.
Let's see.
Okay.
So
Let's see.
So I'm gonna show. Do I show the camera first, which is the front, so that everybody can see, and then I'll find out. Can everybody see? Oh, dude!
Show
you
the
knew I
camera.
needed this one.
Show the camera.
You knew I needed this one. It is a holocom Vader. Oh my god! I cannot wait
It's
to
probably
take a
the
photo of this.
coolest one that they have of those so far.
It's the one that was actually a hologram, which is why I like it so much. But
Yeah,
what I
that's
love
true.
is I have a thing that my man Lone Wolf Labs built for me that I haven't gotten to use yet that looks like one of the tables that the holograms come up on that I'll finally
that's
have a reason to use in a
perfect.
photo with this figure.
like an imperial meeting table.
Yeah, like one of those like circular
What?
things. It's just a little bigger than this, so it like locks in. But dude,
oh, wow.
it's,
Dude,
That's
you could
awesome.
totally use your
You know
new
what? I
Thrawn
take it
with
all
that or
back.
something like that.
Oh yeah, to have him talking to Vader. I mean, I know the caption. I'm not going to tell anybody because it's my caption. It's going to be
Yeah, it's
exciting for
yours.
Ann. But this is amazing. I won't take the time to open it in front of everybody. I'll open it after. But dude, thank you. I know you knew I wanted this one, and this is
sure did.
you did great for my birthday. You did great for Christmas. That's my boy. Thank
runs in
you,
my,
Aunt. You're the man.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm
Well
glad you
done,
like it.
Anthony.
I'm glad you like it.
All right.
Well,
And who's next? Anthony?
I'll go next if you want me to.
Yeah, just go ahead.
So today I have. I don't think I ever showed this one. I can't remember when I started on this show. But the other day I was
Kind of just
taking-
filtered you in throughout the entirety of it.
Yeah, so
honestly.
I'm like, when did this figure come out? Did I don't know.
You
It's
went
another
from
older
recurring
one.
guest star to season regular to
Season regular.
yeah, now you're just in the cast.
Not
Yeah,
just-
now you're
not
official
just
host.
Yeah.
Official host. I put it on the gram, so I mean it better be.
It's on your LinkedIn.
Now it's
Host
official.
of
That's
Sith
basically
Happens podcast,
that's basically my resume. Whenever
Yeah.
anyone asks, I'm like, here, just go to this one, check it out.
Yep.
You'll be amazed. So this one of the collab groups I'm in is Star Wars Saturday on Instagram. We post on Saturdays. You guessed it. Check us out. But this week, optional to do a holiday theme photo. So I went ahead and did that. And I used this figure, and I'm like, as I played with it, and when I was using it, I'm like, it's such a badass figure. A lot of people don't like the holiday figures. I have. There they are. Pretty much all of them.
They're fun ones. It's
I'm
not
missing
like,
a couple, but
Yeah, it's
this
not one.
guy right here.
That's the
Ooh,
only one. I
nice.
only own two, and that's one of them. Yeah,
I've got him on this badass pose with this thing right now.
Yeah.
But he's such a and really for people like us, Matt, with our photos, like you can use this guy for pretty much anything. The
Did you
shot,
get two
like
of them?
you
It's a
angle it
ceremonial
just right,
Mandalorian
like,
guard. Yeah.
yeah,
Or
especially
just make it
but-
a holiday when it's Santa's helper.
Exactly. The shot I took is I'm really happy with it. But he's basically it's with the holiday trooper, that the scout trooper with Grogu, and he's kind of like he's this is suppose I have him, and he's
Nice.
pointing at the trooper, like ready to go. So
Nice.
one other quick thing. So my coworkers, my employees, who I view as
They're your
coworkers, because that's
coworkers,
the kind of boss I am. I'm a leader, okay? I'm not just a boss.
We're a family here,
Yeah.
but I pay the rent.
Pizza party.
Recently, I moved on at my place of work, got a little promotion, and my team, before I left, threw me a little going away party. They were a
As they
great
should.
team. They gave me a Star Wars Advent calendar. So I had not
Nice.
opened today's Advent calendar. So it's a Funko Pop Advent calendar. So I'm like, I'm going to open it now. So I have no
Oh,
idea
nice,
what it
because we're
is.
doing
I've
some
opened it.
unboxings.
Yeah.
Oh, a little R2
So
D2
they're
with
all-
reindeer.
they're all these cute little
that's
feet.
adorable.
the red-nosed droid.
Yeah, there's so I'll have 24 of these cute little Funkos that who knows what
Nice.
I'll do with. I might throw them in a bucket, bring them to work, and give them to kids when I see them who seem like they like Star Wars. I don't know, but they're fun, and I think it's cool. So anyhow,
I saw,
thanks
I
for letting
saw
me know.
that, and I actually was thinking about getting that, and I was like, maybe for my kids next year. I'll hold off right now, but
Cool. It's just
Yeah,
fun.
well, try to get like this year's model after this year is over.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, once it goes on sale, it's cool. There's a lot of cool ones actually. I have another post coming up that I did of a Darth Vader snowman that
Ooh.
I'm really excited about. I think I'm gonna do that. It's this Sunday.
This snowman has asthma. Yeah.
He's like,
It's
anyways,
like a little bit of breath coming in and out on the snowman. But dude,
Yeah.
that's cool. I love it.
this trooper's awesome, or this Mandalorian is awesome, and the first Mandalorian holiday trooper to me was a little not as impressive, but this one I really enjoyed.
The color scheme on that one is a lot better, in my opinion.
Well, it's the
Yeah.
most versatile holiday figure. You can
Yeah.
really
Well,
use
and
it
they
for a
changed
regular
it
Well, I don't know.
So
That
what they
Purge
did is
Trooper
they-
is pretty solid too.
The Purge Trooper is badass.
Like I got that one, and I love that one.
The only
love
one
it,
from
though.
last year that I didn't get, I don't think, is the Ewok, which
I didn't
still
get that
has
either.
not gone on sale. It's still the same price. I'm like, what in the damn hell? But
Nub.
I think the
no,
ones I'm
indeed.
missing are the Ewok and the K2 droid.
Now that
And
K2 droid is
C-3PO.
awesome. I love using that K2 in shots.
I'm just waiting for you to keep adding figures, like and C-3PO and the
Yeah,
Ranger.
and C-3PO. See, the holiday
And the
figures,
Stormtrooper.
they're fun. I hope they do more Halloween ones too. Matt, I was trying to
wanna-
find
I'm
you that
surprised they
Halloween
didn't hit more of
two-pack.
those this year, honestly.
Get
Yeah.
you that Halloween 2-pack for Christmas here, but it has gone up.
This was honestly, asked me if I had it, and I told you. And when I got this, I was like, it's a smaller pack than that 2-pack. And this was an amazingly pleasant surprise because you really surprised me with it. It wasn't just something I was like, I'm missing. So I love this, dude. I can't
That's awesome.
appreciate this enough.
Hey, hell yeah.
All right,
Well, Eric.
I guess I'll open mine now. And mine, I have. So, firstly, it's huge.
gosh.
So I got this from both of you guys, and I had,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you were going to do it.
so I have no idea. I just peeled the tape. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this
So-
because
It's something you were bitching about, and we both just texted each other like, that's his
Merry-
Christmas present.
It's a Merry Christmas
and I
episode of Sith Happens.
Oh, yeah.
Sith Miss. You.
no.
Your second multi-pack, bro.
Oh my god, no way, dude! All right, so camera.
We were just like, let's pull the trigger on it because you
All
were
in order,
completely saying
3-pack.
you were bitching about it at some point, and we just made a note.
And it's such
You
a
have
great
no
one,
idea
too.
how much I freaking wanted this.
It's always a little bit of a gamble this time of year with collectors. Like, oh god, is someone else
It
gonna
is,
get it for
dude.
them?
It
Like,
really
Dude, it
is. Like
totally
my brother
is.
took that gamble too, but like, holy, this is awesome. So, firstly, I do not have a like a regular purge or the second sister, so getting those amazing, and then this in general, just like with the
Yeah,
Inquisitor
Callus.
Cal, like, dude, this is honestly like a centerpiece for my collection at this point.
Heck,
Dude, I'm so
Did
stoked.
good, Matt.
So
This is so
we
freaky.
did.
You
Everybody
guys did
did
good.
good for everybody, and you're gonna feel like we did good too. I feel bad.
Oh, I will. I know.
The fault, guys. The fault is mine. What I got, I got him directly from a company and not in Amazon. So it's not coming until like I think it's like New Year's Day. Did I tell you? It's not coming for a while.
Well, hey, and what I told you back was that's always nice because you have Christmas, and we are fortunate enough that's we get some presents to open on Christmas.
Yes, we
And
do.
then on the next day, I'll get your package. I'll be like, hey, it's like second Christmas.
Nice. That's the move.
It's fun.
Oh my God, I'm so stoked about this though, guys. You have no idea.
Well, heck yeah, man. You deserve it. You are the man, and we appreciate you. So Merry Christmas.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna have to figure out how to hang this with the rest of my gaming greats now.
I want to see that prominent in a photo of your collection.
It's
I'm just
going
gonna,
to
I'm
be
just going to
this.
assume this was all for show.
No,
I'm just gonna
this is
assume
this is a nice.
Yeah, I can see that smile, bro. Everybody's walking away from this one happy, and Ant
Very
with
much.
a glimmer of excitement and wonder in his eyes.
I'm very excited.
Yes, very much so. Well, boys, that wraps us up, and this is our final episode before Christmas, man. So, guys, next week we got the new episode of Skeleton Crew is going to be premiering on Christmas Eve. Each of us is going to be hanging out with our respective families, doing our own thing. Matt's going to be soaking up sun, and where are you going again, brother?
I'm going to the Bahamas, where again, my wife, most amazing woman ever. Her family is from the Bahamas, so
Yeah,
a nice
awesome.
place to nest. Yes,
The funny
I won't
part
be
is
here,
you're closer to me
unfortunately.
there than you are where you currently live.
I know it's really funny. I'm not
As
gonna be able
long
to-
as you listen to a little Jimmy Buffett Christmas.
I think that's going to happen, man. They're
I
mellow
mean,
people.
I don't think you can
Gonna
get
have
away
an-
without doing that.
There's, I think, like an album, like an ID Christmas. I'm said that really wrong. It's culturally insensitive, but that's what they're going to be listening to. So it's going to be fun. I anticipate my wife's family is very fun. I anticipate my Christmas Eve and Christmas morning activities to be my morning activities to be sleeping something off. Overall, I'm very excited, and Eric, I just got to say, man, I'm so excited. I mean, I loved my present. I'm just so excited. Ann and I were really stoked to give you that. So I'm so excited to see your face when you opened it. Like, it was a Christmas gift to
I
me.
never thought I would have one of these in my hand, to be completely honest with you.
We did it, Ant.
Well, hey. Yes.
Like,
we did
honestly,
it.
because it's one of those ones I was like, I could never, like, I was like, I don't know if I could pull the trigger on it. I don't know. It's a little, I am, like, to be
Oh,
holding
it was
this right now.
expensive. No, I'm kidding. It really was.
To be holding it, I'm just like, this is awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah. You said you don't have a multi-pack, and you were complaining about not having it at one point, and I were just like, check. Immediately texted each other on another thread, and we were like, that's his Christmas present. But yeah, man.
Awesome, man.
glad
But
you like it.
so anyways, guys, like we said, we're all going to be hanging out with their respective families for Christmas Eve next year. We will be coming back for a review episode a couple of days later, so probably look for us to do that on the Thursday or Friday of that week, give or take, sometime like that. And from all of us to you guys, we want to just take this moment to just wish all of you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you celebrate. We hope you enjoy it with your families and have a happy and healthy holidays. And then from there, my friends, I will leave it over to you. Why don't you guys sign us out?
Happy Life Day, and may the Force be with you. Always.
Always. And yeah, you said it so well, Eric. I will just say happy holidays, and we'll see you real soon.
On the other side.
Thank you guys for joining us. This is the way.